When did you first notice the world was looking at you differently because of your age? Or maybe it was when a coworker called you overqualified instead of experienced, or when a job posting asked for a dynamic, youthful team player, or maybe when you sent out 45 resumes after you were laid off for no good reason and not one potential employer contacted you. Ageism is real, and for women, it's everywhere. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Hearth Talks, a space to help women grow, connect, and find purpose, especially through creative expression. I'm Diane Hatz, author and interactivist, and today I want to break down ageism, how it shows up in our workplaces and our daily lives, and offer a few suggestions about what you can do. And I probably should just be upfront and say this issue pisses me off. Pisses me off like you wouldn't believe. And I think until you turn around 50, 55, you don't really understand it. Like when I was 35, 40, I didn't get it. But now, I am alive. I have a brain, people. So anyway, have you ever felt invisible when you walked into a room? For me, I first noticed it at a food conference for women at New York University. I was probably in my early 50s. We had a breakout session to network, so 100 or so women are mingling over coffee and chatting, and I started toward a younger woman, and she was probably in her 30s, and when I got close to put out my hand and to introduce myself, she looked through me like I wasn't there, and then turned her head and walked away. And, I mean, I wasn't the most, popular person in the food movement, but I was established in my career, and I always offered to make connections for people, so I was a little shocked, like, just, it was like looking at me made her bounce back and just run in the other direction. So it happened 3 times that day. So I got the hint, like something was up. Older women closer to my age would speak with me there, but it was like I didn't exist to the college students and to the younger people. It was such a shock, and it's the oddest feeling. I still struggle with it, but I'm a lot more comfortable just walking up and breaking the ice, let's say. I think that when younger people see that I'm still alive and I have a thought and I can laugh, that they loosen up a bit. But I haven't completely come to terms with it. I wonder if we ever do. If you're female and over 40, chances are you faced ageism, whether you've realized it at the time or not. Ageism is subtle. Well, and sometimes it's not so subtle, but it's pervasive and deeply woven into how society views us women. And with everything going on in the current administration in DC, we all know it's only going to get worse. I will not get on a rant today. I probably will at some point because I am getting angry and angrier at what's going on. But right now, let's just stick to ageism in general. So according to a 2023 study by ARP, nearly 60% of women aged 45 and older say they've experienced or seen age discrimination in the workplace. And it's not just at work. It's in advertising, media, and even casual conversations where well-meaning friends might say, "You're too old for that." And you're not too old for that. I don't care what you want to do. There's a way to find a way to do something related to it. Like if you're 90, you want to be a trapeze artist, maybe you're just going to sit on a trapeze lowered to the ground. But you can still do something to achieve whatever it is that you want to do. And frankly, if you want something, you go get it, girl. It just pisses me off. And look, and I've said this before in other videos, if someone tells you you're too old for that and you think they're a friend, they're not a friend, okay? It's their insecurity, it's their issue. So I would suggest go home, and I always talk about meditating. Just meditate on, is that person a friend, and do you want to keep them in your orbit? So let's look at ageism at work. Many women get the double dose of sexism and ageism, and trust me, I'm one of them. I read an article in 2022 by Eleanor Mills in the Queenager. That's what Mills calls Midlife, about Sheryl Sandberg leaving Facebook at age 52. And if you don't remember who she was the COO. She was like, second to Zuckerberg. So she left of her own accord. And she said it was for personal reasons, though many people speculated she didn't have a role in Zuckerberg's new metaverse. Frankly, none of us have a role in metaverse, and I'm still debating leaving Facebook and Instagram. Did you know that a woman over 30 in the tech industry is considered old? Like, seriously, come on. I mean, boomers, 60 and over, are on YouTube more than any other age group. So this whole older people aren't on computer or online, that's just gone. That generation is basically all dead by now. So the author of the article, Eleanor Mills, she was let go of her 23-year career just as she published her article about Sandberg leaving her long career. Mills stated in her piece that even with all the job vacancies companies experienced during COVID, a 2022 poll found that women over the age of 45 found it very difficult to get rehired after losing their job in the pandemic. And I know nothing has changed since then. I got pushed out also. I am still reinventing myself. I got to be honest, I'm at a point in my life I can't go back into an office in the politics and the sexism and the you're working for someone who has no idea what they're doing and they're like just taking it out on you. And okay, so I'll be bagging groceries at Whole Foods in a couple of years probably, but I'm still going to be writing books. So a study by ProPublica found that 56% of workers over 50 are pushed out of their jobs before they're ready to retire. Women in particular face additional pressure because of outdated stereotypes about youthful energy being synonymous with competence. I'm sorry, but that is disgusting. I'm 63. I've never been more alive and energetic or full of ideas. Just because you get a wrinkle does not mean your brain stops working. So ageism doesn't just exist in the workplace. It's in everyday interactions too, like beauty ads. I mean, Instagram's algorithm must know I'm over 50 so I'm constantly bombarded with anti-aging ads and they're telling me to erase my wrinkles, in order to be accepted. So I'm sorry, but I have a lot of compassion for the women who just get tons of work done. Like out in Hollywood, it just doesn't look normal. I don't want to judge other people because like somewhere like there, they have no choice because of the way it's really bad in the entertainment industry. Ageism is rampant, not just in the entertainment industry, everywhere, but why can't we focus on feeling good about ourselves? I also think, I'll just say this is for me, that a lot of this is my insecurity. If I was secure in myself, I bought some anti-aging serums. It's 63. It's not going to help, but but if I was really confident in myself, I wouldn't give a crap what other people thought, so I'm working on that, and really, how can we blame ourselves for feeling this way? I mean, when people around you act like you don't exist and you start to feel shunned or just like an outcast in society, it does have an effect. Even well-meaning comments like you look great for your age, which I sometimes do and I'm trying to stop, but that's telling you that you're old. And that old is not good. All of this takes a toll. Women often feel pressure to hide their age, whether by dyeing their hair, dressing younger, or avoiding conversations about milestones like turning 50. Hey, if you want to dye your hair, I'm all for it. But if you're doing it because you feel you have to, that can lead to feelings of isolation, self-doubt, and even imposter syndrome. I did a show on imposter syndrome a few weeks ago. I'll put a link in the comments and hopefully at the end of this video. There's also a flip side to this. I'm going to wear my hair as long as I want until I die. I might get a tattoo for my birthday or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. And I'm still going to wear combat boots and blue nail polish. F anyone who tries to tell me I'm doing anything too young for my age. It's like we can never win. So I say ignore the haters and find people who celebrate your beauty, wisdom, and joy just as you are. And no matter how old you are or what you look like. So what can we do? Let's start by calling out ageism when we see it. If a friend says, aren't you too old for that? You can respond with, actually, I think I'm the perfect age to try new things. So like I said a little earlier, I would probably add an FU under my breath and go home and delete them from my contact book. It's just, that's a power trip if someone says that to you. So we don't have time, as we're getting over the hump of life. We don't have time to play around with this BS anymore. So I would suggest find other women in your area who are struggling with ageism, or, even besides that, find other women in your area who still have fun. It's sad how many people forget to have fun when they get older. And I know that life can bring us down. And, I've had my traumas and I've had my stuff, but I still want to jump in a puddle because that's rare here in New Mexico. If you have a business or are in charge of hiring, first look to hire women over 40. And if you find no one will hire you, start your own business. I just went to a talk by someone at the Women's Business Center. There are 185 offices around the country, 7 in New Mexico alone. They have trainings, loan programs, and they help women start a business. There's also SCORE, Society of Retired Executives. Nothing against old white men, but there are some women there, but I would go to the Women's Business Center, see if there's one near you. Let's not give up. I mean, that's the bottom line. Instead, let's get back at all the naysayers, the ageist, and the sexist by being our best selves, by fearlessly going for our dreams. Let's help each other. I mean, that's why I'm doing Hearth. I'm going for my dream. I don't care, because you know what? On my deathbed, I don't care if I sell a book. I don't care. I mean, okay, I do care a little, but ultimately, in the big scheme of things, I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. And there is not just a joy, there is such a wholeness to that, to like finally stepping into who you are. And I want to help others. Like, I want to help you achieve your dream. Don't let other people bring you down. And if they do, just sit and rest for a while, but get back up and find people who will help you. Let's celebrate aging. Every line on your face tells a story. Every year is proof of our resilience. I always tell people that I earned my wrinkles, and I'm proud of them. So I want to leave you with a thought. Aging is not a problem to be solved. It's a privilege. We need to shift how people feel about aging. Like us people over 45, like we really are the ones who are going to have to change it because younger people don't understand. So let's work together to shift the conversation, to create a world where women are valued for their wisdom, their experience, and their strength, no matter their age. So if you experienced ageism, how do you handle it? Share your story in the comments. Let me know. And thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell. I don't know, they say you should say that, but just hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode. And now, why don't we all go out and be our best badass selves? Thanks. Have a great day.